Well, hello, welcome back to my channel. Just Shauna here to talk about some friggin' books and money that I spent on books. So this year on my little spreadsheet, every time that I read a book from the library, I would go on Amazon and see how much the list price was for that edition, if it was hardcover, paperback, audiobook, etc. And then every time I purchased books for myself, I kept track of that also on a different page in my spreadsheet. This year I read a lot less books from the library than I normally do. I still read a lot, but I was trying to read books from my owned TBR as much as possible. So there was a little bit less in the library book department. Here we have my little chart for how much money I saved versus how much money I spent. Spent is the purple and pink is the saved. I spent $355.39 approximately on books this year, and I saved $475.32. I was definitely being conscious of how much money I spent on books, again, because I was trying to read through books that I already own. I was trying not to buy a bunch of new books that I didn't know if I was gonna like or not, or that I hadn't already read. I still spent more than I want to in 2020, but I don't think I went too crazy with it if that's what I spent throughout the entire year. And I mostly buy books used, so there were very few like full price, list price purchases in there. Those were just a few pre-orders that I made. So there we have it. I hope that in 2020, like I said, I'm gonna work on spending a little bit less on books, but I probably will use the library at about the same rate because I do still have quite a few books on my owned TBR to get to. And that's really it. I just wanted to talk about this real quickly today in a separate video because, I don't know, I don't feel like it's the same category as all the the stats on the books, so I didn't want to put it in my stats video. And I think it's an interesting discussion, the whole, consumerism on BookTube thing. I personally feel like it's not a problem because do what you want with your money. But I have seen a lot of people voice that they feel like pressured to buy more books if they're on BookTube or if they're watching a lot of BookTube. But I feel like that's such a personal thing because no one is telling you that you have to do this. If you're watching these videos and you feel so inclined or pressured, you feel the FOMO and you want to go spend your money on these books, I mean, that's on you. And if you have a problem with doing that, I think it's good to assess that and maybe really look at it and say, am I spending too much money just because I feel this FOMO and I really shouldn't spend the money on it, or I don't want to spend the money on it? But if you do want to spend the money on it, buy all the damn books you want, or if you don't want to own any books at all and you only want to read Kindle books, or even that, you don't want to own any, do whatever you want, But if you feel that pressure and it's bothering you, just take a minute and think about it and look at that. I don't think that's anybody else's fault for just talking about the books that they do own or buy. That's kind of how I feel about it. I clearly do like to own books. Most books that I own, though, are books that I have read and that I really, really enjoy. I think I have about 300 to 400 books that I own currently, and of those, I want to say 70 or so are books that I have never read. So for me personally, I like to keep a pretty good ratio of owning books that I really like and want to keep and want to reread. But again, there's lots of people who just buy all the books that they've never read and they keep them for years and it makes them happy. So I don't really care what other people do with their money. Let me know your thoughts down below on the whole consumerism thing, if you have a problem with it. And just your own personal, do you like to own a lot of books? Does it make you feel cluttered and claustrophobic? Do you just not like owning that many things? Maybe you're a minimalist. As always, thank you so much for your time. Hope you guys have a wonderful day and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.